Good day, everyone. This is simple, ordinary, and exact interest. And here are the lesson objectives. Number one, define simple, ordinary, and exact interest. Number two, solve simple, ordinary, and exact interest. And here are the concept notes. The time in interest is always expressed in years. However, some problems provide you the number of days, thus, we have to convert them in years. So, we have two types of interest. First is ordinary, and second is, of course, exact interest. For ordinary interest, we assume that there are 360 days in a year. While in exact interest, we assume that there are 365 days in a year. So, yun lang yung difference natin. For ordinary, 360 days lang. And for exact, 365. So, let's try sa isang example. To begin with, let's have ordinary interest. For ordinary interest, again, we assume that there are 360 days in a year. So, for example, find the ordinary interest paid on a 50,000 pesos loan at 12% interest rate for 300 days. Okay. For solution, ang unang kailangan gawin natin is to find the givens. For the first one, we have principal or P. P is equal to the 50,000 pesos. And yung R natin or rate is 12%. Nakalagay dyan sa problem, 12% interest rate. So, ang rate natin ay 12% or 0.12. So, paano nakuha itong 0.12? Simply divide 12 and 100. 12 divided by 100, we get 0.12. Okay? And for time, ang binigay sa atin dyan ay 300 days. Again, kapag sa interest, in calculating interest, kailangan express siya in years. So, pag days ang binigay sa atin, ganito ang gagawin. This is for ordinary interest. Time is equal to 300 days. And to express that in year, kailangan i-over natin siya sa 360. Bakit 360? Kasi, again, this is ordinary interest. And we will assume that there are 360 days in a year. So, to express this in year, ganyan lang ang gagawin natin. 300 days over the 360 days. So, 300 over 360 year. Expressed na siya in year. After that, we will substitute sa formula natin. Same formula pa rin ang gagamitin. Yung formula pa rin natin sa simple interest. The difference lang naman is yung sa time. Okay? So, I is equal to PRT or interest. Simple interest is equal to the product of principal, rate, and time. Okay. So, isa-substitute lang natin yung given. Again, 50,000 is for P, 0.12 or 12% for rate, and the time is 300 over 360. Getting the product of these three, 50,000 times 0.12 times 300 over 360, we have 5,000. Therefore, the simple ordinary interest paid on a 50,000 pesos loan at 12% interest rate for 300 days is 5,000 pesos. Okay, that is for ordinary interest. Another example, ordinary interest pa rin. Find the ordinary interest paid on a 15,000 pesos loan at 5% interest rate for 180 days. And for solution, again, unahin natin kunin ang given. So, the principal given is 15,000. For rate, we have 5% or 0.05. Paano naging 0.05 ito? That's 5 over 100 or 5 divided by 100. We have 0.05. And for time, again, ang binigay sa atin ay 180 days. And dapat expressed siya in year. So, ang gagawin natin dyan, since this is ordinary interest, i-over lang natin siya sa 360. Palaging ganyan, pag ordinary interest, 180 over 360. 180 is yung given sa problem. Yung 360 is yung days in a year sa ordinary interest. So, 360 yon, tama. Okay, so 100 over 360. After that, after getting all the given, substitute natin siya dito sa formula natin, which is again, interest is equal to principal times the rate times time. And ayun, 15,000 for principal, 0.05 for rate, or 5% yan. And the time is 180 over 360. And we get 375 pesos. Therefore, the simple ordinary interest paid on a 15,000 pesos loan at 5% interest rate for 180 days is 375 pesos. Okay, that is for ordinary interest. Next, how about exact interest? Exact interest, we assume that there are 365 days in a year. Okay, again, ordinary is 360 days in a year, and exact interest is 365 days in a year. For example, find the exact interest paid on a 50,000 pesos loan at 12% interest rate for 300 days. Okay, so pareho lang yung given sa kanina. The only difference is that exact interest ito. And the number of days in a year is 365. Okay. Solution, first thing to do is to find the givens. Okay. Principal is 15,000. The rate is 0.12 or 12%. And the time is 300 days. And to express that in year, answer exact interest over 365 ang gagawin natin. Okay, so that's 300 over 365 years. Okay, kanina 300 over 360, ngayon 300 over 365. Okay, so same formula pa din. Interest is equal to the product of principal, rate, and time. We substitute the given. We have 50,000 times 0.12 times 300 over 365. Okay. So, ang interest na nakuha natin, or simple interest, is 4,931.51. So, the simple exact interest paid on a 50,000 pesos loan at 12% interest rate for 300 days is 4,931.51. And as you can see, mas mababa siya compared doon sa ordinary interest. So, ordinary interest kanina, ang nakuha natin ay 5,000 pesos and dito sa exact interest is 4,931.51. Okay, so another example under exact interest. So, find the exact interest paid on a 15,000 pesos loan at 5% interest rate for 180 days. This is similar doon sa second problem natin sa ordinary interest. Okay? So, ang principal natin again ay 15,000. Ang rate natin ay 0.05. At dito siya nagkakaiba. Ang time natin again is pareho namang 180 days but again ang pinag-usapan natin is exact interest. So, that's one instead of 180 over 360, 180 over 365. Okay? Because we are talking about the exact interest. So, time is 180 days equal to 180 over 365. Okay. Using the same formula and substitute natin yung given natin, we have 15,000 times 0.05 times 180 over 365. Okay? And ang makukuha natin ay 369.86. Therefore, the simple exact interest paid on a 15,000 pesos loan at 5% interest rate for 180 days is 369.86. Mas mababa na naman siya compared doon sa ordinary interest kanina, which is 375 ang nakuha natin. So, that's for ordinary and exact interest.